Disaster has struck the ship. All male officers have been taken over by the mysterious alien balls.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's how Daddy likes it.
Woot! Oh, look out! Here comes the U-boat!
Yeah, so another mug for the collection. I'm not really a mug collector, but it looks like I'm starting to collect them. Hi, and welcome down to Devon Koi Pond on a beautiful sunny Devon day. What more can you say, eh? Sun's out again. Last video was a horrible day. It's a Saturday at the visit from Gary and Kaz at Pond and Garden, and weather wasn't that great for it, we'll admit. Blowing an absolute bloody gale and quite cold. The pond temp was down 5 degrees that day, and fish weren't too happy about it. Don't like a 5-degree drop like that. But this week, been back up again, sun's been out. Absolutely lovely. If you haven't already, please smash like and subscribe down here. Much appreciated if you do. This week, right, wow. We're on these balls, aren't we? Yeah, these things here. So, they've been washed. There's supposed to be 100 in each bag. Looks a bit light for 100, but it's supposed to be 100 in each bag. Right, I'll take you over to a video that I did last year on a filter I built around this time last year, so it's just over 12 months ago. We'll quickly clip back to that a minute, and then we'll go into how it's been running for the last 12 months and how happy I am with it and what it's working right at and what it isn't working right at, because it's doing a fair job, but I want to go back to the original video, so I'll chuck in a clip here for me quickly putting it together, speed it up a bit or whatever. But have a look at this and you can see what I'm on about. So let's go over to that. Hi, and welcome down to a Devon Koi Pond. Well, what you've been waiting for, here she is. I've drilled all the holes, put all the fittings in. I'll give you a look around it in a minute. But before we do that, please don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe down here. Thumbs up if you enjoy the video, thumbs down if you don't mind either way. We'll have a look over this one. I put all the fittings in prior because it's a little bit of a pain in the backside. Nice day down here today, sun's out in Devon. Somebody with a rotavator going in the background, a little bit annoying, but I can put up with that. So she's ready here. Let's have a look around the little bugger. Okay, here she is. 3-inch tank connector in the bottom. This one's for the outlet. I've got the outlet mesh in the middle. I'm hoping you can see in there. I've got an air ring in the bottom. Still got to blow the air line in there and get some of the shavings out in a minute. Got air feed here. That's going to let the air in. Hopefully that ring's big enough to turn it. Get it all cleaning itself. The outlet on the bottom there, that's for the waste. Now I am not going to be able to pump it bone dry. It's going to end up with a couple of inches of water in it, but being I can backlet water down from the Easy Pod because I'm under gravity, I can get the last bit out by doing that. But blowing it up with air from the compressor might force it out anyway. We'll have to see on that. I'm not going with a shut-off valve on the 3-inch for now. I might need one, I might not. It's hard to tell. I really don't know. Until I get it in there, I don't know. It's a right blooming mess here, as it is when you're doing anything like this. Let's have a look in the pit a minute. I'm happy that I've got no leaks. Everything's in here. I've got to do a clean on the vortex this morning. That one needs cleaning. Hasn't been done for a week. But yeah, this is working. I had to turn the outlet spout up the other way, so the water level's lower in it than I was expecting, so that's giving an air gap above it. But screwing the cap down tight and filling it first, putting it under vacuum, that puts the water level up in it, so the pump drawing through it obviously sucks more than just the gravity falling in, which is interesting. I've managed to squeeze the air line in it there, as you can see at the back, but the air just isn't enough. Loosen the cap slightly when you've got the air going into it to boil, and with a compressor on it, it was fine. It really got it churning. But the air pump, it's not still too buoyant. The K1, it's got it needs to mature a bit, but I can live with that for a bit, with it maturing, and that'll settle lower in the water then. But I'm getting a good screen of like 6 inches of it solid between the outlet and where the media starts, so it's travelling through 6 inches of media. But with it all in the water, obviously I'd get a better straining effect on it. But it's working fine. Okay, so there, you can see in that clip, it was the upflow filter. Yes, I built the upflow filter. Now, my system down here is a little bit different to quite a few people's, as in the fact that I'm half gravity, half pump fed. Right, the gravity part of the system here cleans the solids out, cleans the water, simple as that. The biological side of the filtration here is pump fed, so I suck everything up through to the pump under gravity. Now that suction in that bottom upflow filter works, but with the media in it you get a slight problem, as in the media rises. Now I've got some diagrams here so I can work through what I'm saying, but I'll pop it up on screen so you can see it a bit better. Although I did print them in big print, big boys print, so I can actually bloody see it when even without my glasses. But I'll pop the diagram up on screen here. So in this first diagram you can see how it was supposed to work. The water was supposed to come in the bottom, come up through the media, and then go out of the top. Now I suck the water through this filter, so there's no pump before this system, it's after this system. So the pump is below water level and it sucks it through. This is on diagram 1. This is what I was hoping for it to work like. Now I did design it so that I could put the pump before it if I wanted to, but the disadvantages of having a pump on the dirty side in dirty water is the fact you're chopping all your solids up, you're mashing them up with a pump and making them even smaller. So I wanted to stick with this sucking it through, but anybody that's used K1 or K1 micro media knows that as it gets dirty it rises. Now being I've got an air gap above in the filter, as you can see on diagram 2 here, the water level, the media as it got dirty would rise out of the water and up to the top of the blooming pot. So I was losing the distance that I had for the water to travel through before it exited the filter. So the general idea with these balls is to drop them in the top of the filter. Now, I'm not sure how many. If you look in this diagram here, I can put in a few and just drop the water level a bit. I can fill the top up because the water will permeate through the balls, but I need to be able to keep that media held down because as the media gets dirty, it just rises. So I lose about 100 mil of media above the outlet that it's not screening through. I've still got a good amount there and it works, but it's not running as it blooming should. So if I jump through to this diagram, right, so if I fill with balls, it's going to start to push it down, right, just a few balls at the top. And on the final diagram here, if I fill it right up with balls at the top, I can push the media right down. Being as the media is more happy in the water, it will stay down the bottom. The balls are more buoyant, they will always float on top, whereas the media is semi-buoyant. It should just sit there quite happily with the balls on top and the media still in the water. You might get a bit travel up round the balls, but I can push the media down in theory to within about 3 inches of the bottom of the filter. I'll take you over and we'll have a look at the filter, how it's going now. Doesn't really need a clean because I've only been doing it sort of once a fortnight. The boil on it, it's got quite a surface, and there's 100 litres of K1 media in there. But you'll see that the media is up above the outlet, so I'm losing some of that media that it's going through. It starts off fine, which I'll show you after I've cleaned it. But as soon as it starts to get dirty, the media just rises up out of the water, which is what really happens in the Nexuses and Easy Pods as well, which was the idea with the compression disc in the top to keep the media down in the water. But I could do with it going through the entire amount of this media, would help no end. So I need to hold the media down, and I reckon these balls will do it. So I'll take you over a minute and we'll unscrew the cap off the filter and we'll have a look. Yeah, grass needs cutting again, and I've really buggered me back up this week, but there. Right, so here we are. I'll unscrew the top. Okay, right, now you can see in here that this media, look how deep I'm digging, and I'm still not finding water. I've got over 100 mil media here on top of the water. Not good. Right, you can't actually see the line on the side of the tank, but when I boil it, I drain down the vortex first and then boil this one, and it's usually about 3 parts full of water when it boils, because it drops down to about the level of the outlet pipe from the vortex. Boils fine at that. I'm sure it's still going to boil fine with the balls in it, but let's drop it all and I'll get it to the boil point and start the camera back up so you can see what I'm on about. But this is the problem. So it's been working fine, but I'm losing a lot of that filtration on this. So I reckon it's only been running at about 2/3 of its efficiency, and that's not good enough. I mean, I did think of other ways of holding the media down, like putting an inner tube in the top and blowing it up. That would hold it down a bit. But the balls seem like a good idea, because I can always take them out. They're easy enough to remove and re-bag up. But I'm just sure they'll do it. Right, I'll set it all up so it's up to the cleaning point in a minute, and then fire the camera back up. Okay, so here we are at the point of turning the water off and drop the vortex a bit, which is down to this level, drop the vortex about 3 inches, but it'll boil fine at that, but that's not the normal height it boils at. As you can see, it's pretty vicious in there. I've got quite a big air pump on it. I'll drain the vortex down a minute and you can see the level that it normally boils at. So I pulled the waste lever up on the vortex. Just going to crack the lid on it. Just crack the lid on it and I'll take the top off, loosen the top on the answer. So I want the water to drain from that. So now in here, this is the level that normally boils at. Okay, it won't drop any lower than the outlet pipe there. Alright, as soon as it gets below that level. So it boils fine at that. So I'll do a right zoom in so you can see how dirty the water is, because I can't actually collect the water out of this to show you how dirty it is, because it drops into my sump barrel. But I do a right zoom in there. Okay. And I'll pop the final diagram up again, and if you look now, I've got 300 or more above level in this filter. That those balls should sit in there quite happily like that, and it should still boil. So the general idea is to drop this down, clean it with it all emptied, and then drop the balls in. So I'll join you in a minute as I drop me balls. Okay, you rejoin me. The vortex is now empty, so I've got no water in the vortex. That one's drained down. I'll just give it a blast around with the hose. So now I'm just left with this, and I usually leave this boiling for like 5 minutes, you know, because it's very messy. I only ever do it once. Don't forget, for me, I've got the 70 micron screen on the answer here, so everything that gets through into there is below 70 microns before it then trips up to the easy pods. So it's already very fine stuff. I'll drop this one down a minute, and then we'll fill it up with water so you can see how it sits to run normally. Now I'll drop the balls in. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're now drained down. Now the media inside drops down, and I end up with about 350 millimeters from the media to the top of the tank. The water level in the top of the tank's usually about 2 inches down, so if you say 12 inches, so I want to take up 12 inches of room really with these balls. Now it says there's 200 of them here, 100 in each bag. I reckon it's going to take nearly the 200 of them, so I'm going to start and put them all in, and then take a few out if I don't need them all. But I'll let it refill a minute so you can see what happens when it's clean. Okay, this is with it clean. See, it is fluidized again. Now it's about an inch down from the top. When I put the pump on, it falls about another inch, but slowly through the week that media rises. So I'm going to drop it down a bit again, then I'm going to drop the balls in, and I think this is going to make the difference. Okay, as you can see, I've now dropped the level back down, and let's get some balls in here. You always want to be careful when you're dropping your balls. You don't want them to go everywhere. Now this should be 100. Say, it doesn't look like 100. You know what sellers on eBay are like. They've been known to tell a fib or two. Well, I'm going to go with a lot. I think they'll be easy enough to take out, so not too much grief. Now these are bound to float on top of the water. Goes without saying. They're more buoyant than the media, which is semi-buoyant. But anybody that's used the media in a filter knows that it rises over time. and that's the problem. Now, this is a trial. Hopefully it's a nice fix. I'll put the lid back on here, because I'm liable to lose my balls when I put the water back in, aren't I really don't know what's going to happen. They could all spew out the top. I got a feeling a lot of them are jammed there anyway, but we'll see. So I'll let the water back in. Maybe I'll take the top off just for a laugh in a second. Or unscrew it a little bit just so you can see. Shouldn't take long to fill back up. Bubbles you can hear there, what's coming out the bleeder here. It's got an air bleeder on top of the pipe that comes from the vortex. I would say I'm pretty sure he's full up now. And it's airtight, this lid. I can form a vacuum in it. Normally I wait for it to fill up the water, then tighten it down, so I've got a vacuum there as well when I'm sucking the water out. I can actually see the balls on the side. I don't know where it's going to force this lid off. I haven't got a clue. I've got a feeling the balls might all spill out. Ooh, maybe not. Right, there we go. And if you do look, dead centre there, you can see the water's come up. Alright, so these balls might work very well. I always have the other option, if this doesn't work. Well, the filter actually works, but it's losing its efficiency by not having all the media in the water. If this doesn't work, and I can go from pump fed from the EasyPod here and pump feed into it and pressurise it, like the oh god, what's the Nexus Revolution thing called? Yeah, I won't name that filter. The upflow filter you can buy then from those people, where all the media is bound to be in the water, because it's a pressurised filter, so it blows the water up through it. I can always do the same, but I'm going to give this a try. So let's fire the whole thing back up again. Make sure the water comes out the top a minute. So a quick look here. Now the pump's running. So now we've got everything going up here. Water's back into the EasyPods, going back through the system again. Yeah, you can. That problem with the media is happens a lot. As you can see with the EasyPods here, that's just what happens. You get so much of the media sat on top. As they get dirty, the media rises. But I've got too much media in these anyway, really. But I'm using these for filtering my fines. Basically, the two EasyPods here. These are what take the skimmer. They're clean for the skimmer. That's all really. There's clean water coming up from the bottom, and these just clean for the skimmer. So let's get you on the step, and we'll have a little talk on the balls. Hopefully everybody's got what is happening now with it, and hopefully it works. Let's get you on the step. Woohoo! Look at that on the way over here. I've got my first lily flowers coming up. Ooh. Don't know if anybody else has got any starting to pop up yet. Usually a little bit earlier down here in the southwest than other people, but yeah, we got lily flowers coming up. Get on. Okay, right. I'll be interested to know what some of you think about that. I'm like 98-99% sure it's going to work a treat. But I do have the backup plan if it doesn't. I say the filter was working before, but why waste sort of 120, 150 mil of media sat on top of water, which is what happens through the week. You want it straining through the lot. If you're pushing through it on an upflow filter and with a pump on the other side, which pump is chopping up the fines even more. Yeah, I know, pump's munching it up. But if yeah, if your pump's chopping up the fines and going into it even more, then that's not good. Sucking it through it's a better idea. Hopefully those balls will keep the media down in it. I can't see why it won't. But if I have to go pump on the other side just to get that 100%, I like everything working at 100%. I'm never happy if something isn't 100%. So we'll have to do something. As you can see, I'm going to top up some water now. Those filters, bottom filters there, get done once a week. The Easy Pods now, crikey, I could leave them 3 weeks, but I'll do them every 2 weeks through the summer. And that seems to sort of filter out. But I'd like to know people's opinion on that. Whether sucking through it like I'm doing it is a bad idea, you know, or pushing water through it is the best way to do it. It's what? Because putting a pump on the dirty side and chopping and munching the bits up going for a pump is a bad idea. It just doesn't do you any favours, because you're making the bits even, it's like putting it in a blender, you're chopping the bits up even more because you're putting them through turbulent water. They're bound to break up. Right, if you haven't already, please smash like, subscribe down here, give us a thumb. If you've enjoyed me seeing me play with me balls, even if they was blue balls, couldn't get black ones. Did have a look around at all sorts of balls like that. Most of their play pit balls for a kiddie's play pit, and most of them were multicoloured, and I thought that'd be even worse. Alright, but yeah, smash a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. If you think there's going to be a problem with that, you know, mention it down in the comments. I'm open to criticism, I really am. But from down here in sunny Devon this week, we'll be catching you all next week when, I don't know what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something. Always something to blooming do, isn't there? Right, bye for now, and have a cracking weekend, people. Catch you all later.